and we're back here at this table where I feel like great things are going to happen. Anyway, before we begin, before I even tell you what's going on, let's just address the elephant in the room. If over the course of this video I stand up and you see this stain on the shirt, let me teach you a valuable lesson. If you're doing a Steven Universe cosplay and you make your own rose quartz gem and you decide to adhere that gem to your belly button using spirit gum, just don't, because it won't last and it's gonna ruin the shirt. I've tried everything. I've tried soda, I've tried bleach. That's not too extreme so it doesn't bleach out the color. Yeah, I can't get it out. So don't do this. Don't use spirit gum. Not even once. It's dangerous. Why am I wearing this shirt then? Because I've got a bunch of acrylics here and we're gonna paint something onto a round canvas. What are we gonna paint? I don't know. I didn't really feel like doing my own design today, and I feel like doing fan art isn't really breaking any copyright rules. We're gonna make, or we'll try to paint Skyrim guard shields, especially the Riften one, because every time I play Skyrim, I end up being a sneak archer, and I feel like Riften is a great representation of that. So my plan of operation is I'm gonna use a brown acrylic that I found to see if that's the brown that I need for this. If it's not, I got red and green and trying to mix one. I obviously got black and white so I can darken and lighten up colors. I need gray for the borders there. I'm gonna try to make it look like it's been hammered, you know, that's been blacksmith, forged, whatever. I need a light yellow, which I didn't, like I got this yellow, which is pretty light, but I can just mix it with white and see where that gets us. And I need a faded purple color. I've never really painted with acrylic paint before. I got sponges. It's gonna be a mess. I couldn't get a palette at the store where I got the paint from, so I have an extra Tupperware lid that I'm gonna abuse today. First things first, get all the plastic cups and everything I don't need right away out of here. I'm gonna start with drawing the daggers onto this thing first and then decide where to go from there. Doesn't matter. So here you go, and let's try to do this. Ooh, I can't erase it that easily. I have to be careful. I have to be very careful with this. I think the biggest challenge about this one is gonna be making it symmetrical, because it's two daggers, you know, overlapping. You can see it right here. So I don't even need to explain it. You can just look at that. Like, I know this doesn't look right, but I never claimed to be an artist, so let's just pretend like this is what it's supposed to look like. Now we have to fix this part somehow. You know what? I bet this is not gonna show up under that other acrylic at all, but I didn't want to freehand it. How do I do this now? Let's make it brown and see where we go from there. Also, maybe I should be doing this with the sponge and not the brush. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Sponge time. Oh, you actually can see it a little bit. I think the sponge is giving me a great texture too, though. I mean, this is probably not how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. You know, you see people do things like this on the internet and you're like, yeah, I can do that. And then you do it and you realize, no, I can't. I just can't. I mean, it does have a wood-like texture. Yeah, it kind of looks like a wooden board. So I'm not mad about this. Yeah, maybe we'll just do the gray now. So let's do a little bit of black. Oh, that was a lot of black. And a little bit of white. And then make 50 shades of gray. How should I do this? With a sponge? Yeah, we'll just do it with a sponge. Just drag that over here, and mix it with the sponge. We need more white for this. I mean, it's not supposed to be regular, so let's see what it looks like if we do it like this. It does have a nice texture. I mean, it's not what I want it to be, but it's not the worst. And I think we should let this dry before we start with the purple. But I can still see the daggers through here, kinda. I think if I have a light underneath, I can still see those. But I don't think it looks terrible so far. What I want to do, but I also have to wait for, is do a little white on the borders, like to make it look like it's shining a little bit, maybe. But I have to wait for this to dry first. So that'll take a while. Yeah, I'll be back. And now I need a clean finger to shut off the camera with. Stop filming. Hi, it's a lot of hours later, and it got too dark out to just film with the natural light, so we have our streaming light set up and continue with whatever this is. It took forever to dry. This will be a slow process, and I was not ready for that. So, let's see here. Okay, so I like this texture that the sponge method gave me here. So, what I want to do now is do this shimmering shine effect, and I think I need more black and white for that. But this time, just a little bit. Because when I washed this off, there was a lot of paint on it that just got wasted. And I don't want to waste it. So, what we're gonna do is, I think I'm just gonna use this brush, whatever, and just, you know, do that all around. So there's more white going on up here and more black going on down there. I'll just take a bigger brush. I'm gonna use this one. I think it's still kind of wet from when I washed it. I don't want to dilute the color or, yeah, the paint. What is this? Is this stuck together? Yeah, anyway. It was a cheap store, I'm not surprised. So the white is here. Let's start with that. And I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the paint is running out the further I get, because I feel like that's going to make it easier to blend it with the black, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should have used another brush. Also, I'm going to tip this up a little bit, because the streaming light is reflecting and I can't see anything. Yeah, this doesn't really look the way I wanted it to. Now we have these white and black bits going on all around, and I think I'm gonna get to those after I do the purple in the middle, which I think I'll have to mix first. Yeah, that's too saturated. We have to dilute it a little bit with white. Needs to be lighter. I don't know how colors work, or paint. Essentially, I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, it's whatever. It's okay. It'll all be worth it in the end. Let me use the biggest brush to mix it together because I want to use the biggest brush just because I have it. That's not really it. More white, then maybe a little bit of black to make it more of a purple grayish color than just a purple. Yeah, I think that was too much black. I mean, it's somewhat gray and still kind of purple, but it's not exactly what I want. No. Okay, a little bit more purple. That black is strong. I underestimated that. A bit more purple and a bit more white. I don't know if that works. We'll see. Yeah, it takes a lot of purple to even out the black that I brought in. This is a mess. If I had to describe this in one word, it'll be mess. But I think this looks right, at least a little bit. Okay, and then just slop it on here. It doesn't have to be exact because it's just like on the picture. It feels like this, if that was a, what the? The brush is falling apart. Well, I shouldn't be so surprised about that. You know, sometimes in life, if you want to have higher quality equipment, you have to invest more money, and I didn't want to do that. And now I'm paying for it. Let's use a sponge, because this brush is falling apart. And it's not gonna get us anywhere. Thank God I have more paper towels here. Oh, yeah. And the whole thing just came off. Okay, so that's that. I mean, I'm not surprised. It was a cheap, very, very cheap set of brushes. Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, sponge time. Because I feel like that'll work. If I get all the hair out, yeah. I need to invest in higher quality brushes because this one is just, it's losing hair everywhere. Anyway. Look at this. That's insane. It's all over everything. Oh no. Oh no. This is wrong. This is so wrong. This is bad. Oh God. Oh God. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe if I do it like this, it'll work a little better. To give us that rough edge look. I need to get all these hairs out here. Look at all this hair. Freaking cheap sponge. I'm so glad this table isn't used for anything important. This is so wrong. This is so bad. But now I can't see where I put the daggers. So, yeah. Alright, whatever. Okay, let's do that black and white thing again that I was talking about earlier. But right now I'm just gonna use the very tip of the sponge, like the corner, because I feel like that should be enough. I'm just gonna dip one corner in there and do a little of this. I hate that the camera just shuts off randomly, so I don't know how much you missed, but welcome back. That looks kinda right. There's another hair stuck on it. I mean, there are so many, I can't care about all of them. I don't know if that makes it any better. Looks kinda wrong. Dip the sponge in black, tap it all around and let that dry. And for this, I'm gonna have to do this to it and hope that it stays, because if it doesn't, it's just gonna fall over. Maybe using the sponge for that is not the best idea. Hold on. Let's use 4 of these paint tubes, or you know what, let's use 3 so I can rotate it. Yeah, that works. And it's much more stable than what I did before. Thank God I left the black out. I'm gonna be needing a lot of that. Or maybe not, but you know what, let's just do this all around until there are no more white crevices. And then we do this. And just so that the borders get a little bit of like a shade effect almost. I mean, it's wiggling all over the place, maybe because I'm continuously dabbing it with paint and it's standing on tubes of paint. I'm just gonna do it this way again. Maybe I shouldn't, because I just got it all over my hand. You can't even see what I'm doing. This is a bad video, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me flip you up a little bit. Okay, looking at it from here through the little, display on the camera, I don't hate it, but up close, again, it just looks awful. But I'm gonna let this dry and come back to it later, whenever that might be, for the daggers, which is gonna be a total disaster. But you know what? At this point, I don't think we can make it any worse. So, look at this. This is the truth, like, this is what painting does to you. All right, see you later. While this business dried again for 2 hours, it's getting really late, I made a paper template, and I hope that works. So I'm just gonna put that on there and trace it and improvise the rest. It's gonna be a disaster, but you know what? We'll deal with it. So what I wanna do is make dots where the edges are, so I know where to connect all of it. But first I need the right color. And for that I have 2 different yellow, and I think I'm just gonna mix my own color. Because it's not a bright yellow, it's also not a light yellow. There's a little bit of orange in there. I mean, this technically isn't orange. It's like, almost looks like mustard. I don't know what it is, but we're using it. And then just white in there and see how that comes out. Now, I need a very fine brush for this. No, that one might be too fine. I mean, the lines are pretty fine. Wait, what's this? That's a 6. This is a 3. What's that? That's a 2. Do I have any more? 4. Why is the 4 smaller than the 3? Probably because they're cheap ass brushes. Okay, so then let's use the 3 to mix it. What is this one? That's a 1, okay. Yeah, let's use the 3 to mix it and see how it comes out. I think I could use a little more white. This looks right. I mean, now there's a little too much on it, but I mean, I'm not using that brush anyway. I'm using a different one. And I don't have any more paper towels that are clean, so I'm just gonna use the one we used for the purple before. Now, I think I'm gonna go with the 2, because that seems like a good idea. Okay. I think the good thing about this is that it's not supposed to be the prettiest thing ever, because this design is drawn on a shield that's gonna get damaged during battle. So it'd be an absolute waste to spend a lot of time and skill on painting a shield that's getting clobbered anyway. I mean, I could put more care into this, because I feel like I'm ruining it by being too liberal with my paint. Okay, so we got this far. Doesn't look too bad, but now I have to make sure that there are clean and pointy edges here. I feel like I'm making it worse. The more I keep going, the more I feel like I'm just making it worse. Oh boy. It shut off again and I don't know when, so welcome back to I don't know what minute. Now I'm gonna use the smallest one that I have for this part, because now I have to make a tiny little line going from the middle here to there approximately. Someone is hammering things and it's not helping me concentrate. This doesn't look too bad so far, but I'm not done. Well, the trickiest part is the knot right there. And I don't know if I can do it. I might have to make a template for that too. But first, let's take care of the blade. Battery's running out. Great. This is gonna be real fun to edit because it didn't take forever at all. Oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna switch the battery really quick. Hold on. Let's keep going. I think I'm gonna use this brush again because I don't feel like the other one is helping at all. This almost feels like shaving because if you mess it up on one side, you have to even it out on the other side, and you can get stuck in that loop of just evening it out, messing up again, evening it out, until your entire beard is gone. I feel like that's what I'm doing with this dagger handle right now. This one looked fine in the beginning, then I messed up over here and I had to even it out again. So that's that. One of my neighbors is watching TV so loud that I can hear every word. Okay, we're almost done with this. Now comes the knot part. Just gonna wipe it off with the sponge now. So far I've used 5 sponges, including this one. Like, this is the 5th sponge that I'm touching today. Okay, so what does this look like? I can't zoom in any further. So that's done too. Now the only thing left are the wooden lines, like where the planks are. Those will be tricky, because now I have no! Spilled water onto it. No, let's look it up. Okay. Think I saved it. All right. So I'm just gonna let that dry again, and then we have to figure out the wood pattern. I mean, I could just leave it like this, but it doesn't look like a shield right now. It just looks like a, well, painting. Yeah, anyway. So I'm gonna let this dry and think of a way to make the wood structure appear again. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I could just, instead of slouching, I could just do this. Much better for your back. It's amazing. The wooden lines is what we need. So what I thought about, what I could try, is just using brown for everything outside of the purple, and for everything inside of the purple I'm gonna mix the purple with white and black again, but this time a little bit more black. That's what I'm gonna try to do. So technically we could just start with the brown, because the yellow isn't touching the brown anywhere. I don't really think that's making it better, but at least it also doesn't seem to make it any worse. Just makes it kind of weird, maybe. I don't know, man. This doesn't look right. Whatever. I'm done. Because the more I keep messing with it, the uglier it's gonna get. The lines aren't straight. They're curved. It's irregular, but I mean, it's wood, so that should be okay. I'm done. I'm done with this project and I'm done with this day. Yeah, I don't like what I just did at the end. But hey, this is it. It's the Riften shield as seen on iPad. Thumbnail time. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, we're done. We're done. Goodbye.